Left is Evans dropping back to throw. Mayfield throws a far side. Caught ball. Mike Evans. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Fire the cannons. Bucs take a 9-0 lead. First down from the 22. Mayfield throws toward the end zone. Caught ball. Mike Evans. Touchdown Tampa Bay. Evans has 2 today. Merry Christmas, Michael.
Welcome back to the NFL Report. Steve White, James Palmer with you. And Steve, we are joined by the offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Dave Canales, who is in the postseason. Dave, I have to start off with this. Thank you for joining us. I know you don't need any added energy. You already bring enough. But what's the juice like that we're preparing for postseason football right now?
Oh, man, a lot of excitement around here. You know, fortunately, I come from a place who has seen the postseason quite a bit, walk into another place, 4 straight seasons, going to the postseason, 3 straight NFC South championships. So there's a buzz around the building. This feels very familiar to a lot of guys. So for us, you know, it's just about having that 1-0 mentality. And as you know, we've been playing playoff football for over a month now, trying to keep our postseason hopes alive.
So, Dave, as you mentioned, you come from a place that would be Seattle for those who don't know. We spent a long time, but I want to take it to the Buccaneers because, you know, you're in a situation where, you know, you came in and you got this offense going and people didn't think it was going to be able to get rolling like this. You've got this run game going, but your quarterback, Baker Mayfield, he is the only other quarterback besides Tom Brady to throw for more than 4,000 yards, to have 25-plus touchdowns and fewer than 10 interceptions. What can you say about his resurgence and, honestly, his toughness? Because what he played through in Week 18, it was amazing watching him grit through that game.
I can't say enough about Baker. Just the opportunity, you know, to be able to work with the guy with so much experience, you know, thrown into the fire right away, first overall pick. But for him to just continue to believe in himself, to believe in his teammates, build relationships, grow with this offense as we're putting in a new system with new words for everybody involved. But to watch him really, you know, tough it out a bunch of games throughout the season, and especially last week, you know, to be there for us, to make critical plays when we needed him at the end of the game. I can't say enough about his just mental toughness to overcome, you know, the challenges that he faced physically to be able to be available for us.
Yeah, dealing with a rib injury, dealing with an ankle injury, and you described the way Baker's done it. But, Dave, I'm curious how you've done it, because we look at the year prior to this and what you guys did in Seattle with Geno Smith, and then you look at Baker here, and these, let's just be honest, some people around the league say these are essentially cast-offs. What is the process that you see when you look at a quarterback you're going to be working with and you go about making sure you put them in a position to succeed? What's your process in that when you examine their game?
I think the biggest thing is, even especially when you're introducing a new offense, is that we do need a starting point and we do need a place to teach words, to teach route stems, depths, different things like that. But as we go, I think it's just really important. It was for Geno, you know, it was for Russ before that. And now with Baker, is that we become the version of our offense that puts them in the most comfortable and confident place where they can play fast and decisive. And so we become something that has a Baker Mayfield twist to it, you know, and I think that's the beauty of our system, is that we have enough concepts, you know, over the years to kind of evolve into who our people are. You know, it's the me to you factor. It's learning how to throw to Mike, learning how to throw to Chris Godwin, Cade Otton. How do we use Rachaad White out of the backfield, you know, and a bunch of other guys that I hate that I'm not mentioning, but I think it's being able to just kind of swallow your pride and say, hey, I'm not going to live and die on this concept. What is he throwing? And you can always tell by that confidence on that back foot. When it goes into the ground firmly and the ball comes out and he rips it, you know he loves the play. How can we build this play a few more ways for him to be able to execute it?
Well, I love hearing that, because, I mean, some of the technicalities and even some of the small nuances that you say, this is what's going to work. And, you know, with that point, you mentioned Rachaad White, the running game. This is something that has been a struggle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the past 2 seasons. And now you have established the run game that sets up that run action that really opens up your offense. What about the way you've got this offensive line playing? Again, establishing someone like Rachaad White to operate that functionality of the offense that you were just talking about.
This is where I get to really pump my staff, Harold Goodwin. So everybody knows him as Goody, and Joe Gilbert.
He's great.
Nobody had a bigger impact on this season than those two guys. You take Tristan Wirfs, put him on another side. You take Luke Goedeke and you move him from guard to tackle. You introduce Cody Mock, a rookie, to the mix. Robert Hainsey starts his full season. We started out with Filer at the left guard. Stinney comes in after that, Aaron Stinney. And those guys, just being able to really work with them, improve their technique, get them confident in their ability, passing off stunts in the pass protection, comboing in the run game, and then really becoming a run game that suits us, that suits our body types, our abilities, not worrying about what we can't do, but let's focus on what we can do. What does Rashad run so well, and that was like a full season effort. We really saw it in the second half of the season. We saw our rush per game average go up 20 yards, and in that stretch, we had a bunch of victories. We took some knees and we just battled, man. And we knew that we were going to have to run the ball, giving the guys confidence, putting them in formations where we could be aggressive and play fast. And so I really got to give a lot of love. And I got to talk about John Van Dam, our tight ends coach, as well, because those guys are such versatile tight ends to be able to allow us to do a lot of the stuff that we did.
And Dave, that offensive line does a brilliant job. You're describing it in the run game, but obviously everybody loves to throw the football, right? Let's have a little fun with it. Yeah. And Mike Evans, everybody knows the name. I still don't think he gets enough credit for what he does for your offense and offenses he's been in prior. I'm just curious from a play caller and play designer standpoint, when you have that skill set on the outside that Mike has, what does that do for you? What advantage does that give you as a play caller?
Yeah, it gives you a starting point. And I think that, whatever sport it is, whatever, position it is, there's something you got to have a starting point, a focal point of your offense that kind of allows you to try to anticipate what defenses are going to do, whether it's this amazingly powerful run game as a starting point. Here come the hard actions. It's Mike Evans, and they're going to try to put one or two, sometimes three players to his side. How can we take advantage of the rest of the field? And of course, the greatest challenge for us is but we still got to find a way to get him involved while they're doing this, while they're making efforts to way. How can we make the rest of it come to life? The screen game, the run game, the passes to the other side, putting him in different spots in formation. But for me, it allows me to kind of set my mind on, here's a starting point. Now, can we build from here?
Dave, the things we're talking about, you've done with this offense and the way so many guys have developed, but it's also happened when you were in Seattle with Russell Wilson, with Geno Smith, and as a result, you've been requested to be a head coaching candidate. I mean, your name is out there. How are you approaching that part of it, knowing that you've done some good things and people are recognizing it, just where you might be the next guy who gets a head coaching job?
I mean, it's surreal for me. And the first thing I think about is just a lot of the guys that contributed to this, and the rest of the staff members in Seattle that were a part of just kind of developing a system over the years and evolving with the different players that come in and come out, get here to Tampa and just, really trusting our staff to take their rooms, to teach the mentality, to be positive, to be about development, and really searching to push our guys. And so I think about all my guys and it just overwhelms me with gratitude. I'm so appreciative that, I get to have these opportunities come and this recognition, but, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Brad Itzik, the great job he did with third down, and Thad Lewis with the red zone. I talked about Goody and Joe, but Skip Pete in the running back room, teaching them what we're looking for. John Van Dam's done a great job with our first and second down run to pass marriage. All the guys, all up and down our staff, every person on our staff has a role that I'm counting on them to bring to every week so that we have this versatile attack where it's not all just coming from me alone. So I couldn't have done it without those guys. And of course, great players, and Baker coming in and playing fantastically and really being a threat on third downs, the finish, the mentality, and above all, just the guys really loving to come to work and coach together and practice together. It's been really special, and I'm excited to finish this season the right way. And as the things come and those opportunities come, I got an idea about how I want to go about that too.
All right.
Dave, I don't know if this modesty is going to work in a head coaching position. I mean, you're just putting the
You
the
just outlined
love
your
to
staff.
everybody else but yourself. So the staff, the players, everybody. It's nothing about you, but you're a brilliant offensive mind, and you're one of the few Latino coordinators in the NFL. I'm curious what that means to you and your success with the spotlight we're talking about getting shined on you, how that could possibly or potentially open up the doors for others after you.
Right.
Yeah, for me, it's about belief and opportunity. Obviously, I was with Coach Carroll for 14 years. Started off coaching in Carson, California, in LA, where my brothers and I are from. But so I take a lot of pride in it. There's a whole other story about, my grandpa and, the fight and struggle that my grandparents had, and my dad being first generation, just going to college and all that. But just the belief to dream big, to go for aspirations, the work ethic that comes along with it, which is a really prideful thing for me being a Mexican American, is just to be able to take every job that you have, whether big or small, and to attack it with pride, and have a sense of purpose and identity in it. So it means a lot. And hopefully it encourages somebody out there to just like, hey man, sky's the limit. We live in a great country. Football is one of the greatest sports products that there is, in terms of, viewership and opportunities. But just to believe and continue to show up and do whatever's asked, and being willing to do that.
Dave, fantastic. I love hearing that. I love what you've done. I love what you represent. Best of luck to you this weekend, or Monday night, I should say, and best of luck moving forward. And thank you so much for joining James and I on the NFL Report.
Appreciate you guys. Go Bucs.